Today, man, I'm talking about a difficult topic today. It's not meant to offend anybody. You're welcome, Adam the Ghost, but I'm talking about an elephant in the room. And the topic that I had today is racism and hate in America. And I know some people are going to say, well, racism and hate don't exist in America. Well, I beg to differ. Racism and hate does exist in the United States of America, especially for minorities, for blacks, for Latinos, and other people. So I just want to talk about that. This is not no badgering session, but we do want to talk about the elephant in the room and why is the hate so heavy. And I noticed last time when Trump was in office, it always been in the United States, but it seemed like as Trump was in office, it seemed like people get more comfortable, expressing it outwardly. So we just want to talk about there. There's racism all over the world, Deuce says. Thank you. I agree with that. It's racism all over the world, and it's also here. Grisby is in Brazil. Welcome to the chat, Grisby. He said Trump 2024. What I'm talking about today, Grisby, you just coming on. I'm talking about the elephant in the room, and that's racism and hate here in the United States of America. And it comes out every time something happens. So I'm gonna use a couple examples and then we can talk about it and see what's going on. Let me be clear though. First of all, I don't allow nobody to spam my live. I don't allow nobody to hold my live hostage. So when you come here, you can say a few things, but you will not hold this live hostage. I'm gonna get my point across, but you can add, your stuff, as you see fit, but you will not spam it because I will get you out of here. So my topic today is racism and hate in the United States of America. And it's here, we got known hate groups, racist groups. We got a couple known racist groups that's legally operate within the United States. We don't criminalize them, though they do harm, they hurt people. And who are those groups, you may ask? You got the neo-Nazi groups, you got the Proud Boys, you got the Ku Klux Klan, different groups like that operate legally in the United States. Many people express their complaints in life on other people, and racism is one form. Yeah, Deuce, I think I understand what you're saying. You said many people express their complaints in life on other people, and racism is one form. I think I understand. I think I halfway agree with you. I don't know if I agree with you totally, but I want to say this. Somebody was saying something again. Adam said, I think at the core level, people don't really hate someone else just because they're a Mexican or because they're black or white, etc. I think people are taught to think that way for politics. Yeah, politics, and not just in the government sense of politics, but it is politics. Thanks, Adam the Ghost, for sharing that. But it is real, and people can't walk around as if it's not real. Let me read what my man said. Listen to you speak. I remember Obama. Your voice sound a bit similar. Okay. Thank you, sir. I guess that's a compliment. Adam said, of course, there's ignorant people, but there are very few percents of people, bro. Yeah, but all it takes is one. All it takes is a few to cause damage. Let me talk about like when the Carmelo Anthony situation happened. When the Carmelo Anthony situation, release that hatred, brother. Somebody said release that hatred. Good morning, Dr. J. Thanks for coming. Thank you for coming. Today we're talking about one of them difficult topics, and it's about racism and hatred in the United States. Deuce said it's definitely real. So let's go to it. I'm gonna use a couple examples. We're not gonna be stuck on no one particular case, but I'm gonna just use the example of the Carmelo Anthony case. When Carmelo Anthony, the young teenage high school student, was attacked in school or wherever he was attacked at by the white kid, but he ended up defending himself and killing the white kid. That case was almost split down the middle between black and white. There's some white people were so mad they sending death threats to the black family and this and that. But we got a law that's called stand your ground. But see, the racism and the hate came out real strong against this black teenager. I think they put online where his dad worked at and all this kind of stuff. That's just a minor example of the racism and the hatred that exists in this country. In Cincinnati, Ohio, they got a town called Lincoln Heights. The neo-Nazis went to the black community, took a U-Haul loaded on with their assault rifles, their flags and masks on, and they went to Lincoln Heights to protest or to do whatever, to intimidate, I don't know what the plan was. But when the hood found out that they was in the house, they called the troops and the troops ran them out of the hood. But I'm just saying, these are just little examples, man, that hatred and racism exists and it has to be dealt with. And we can't walk around saying it's colorblind, everybody's good, everybody love you. I'm gonna tell you about it. It's I heard about Jim Crow law. Yeah, Jim Crow law, that stuff supposed to be over. We ain't even gonna touch on that. But I'm gonna get back to that, Deuce. Thank you. You said I heard about Jim Crow laws. Yeah, that's when everything was separate. Black people couldn't drink from white water fountains. Black people couldn't use white restrooms. Yeah, so that's what you're talking about. It should no longer be like that. And that was in the 60s, 70s during that time. But what I'm saying is this stuff is crucial. I don't know if y'all familiar with the case in Georgia. We had two twins in Georgia recently, a couple months ago. They was traveling somewhere and never made it to the bus station. They found their bodies in the mountains. And come to find out, a white man had killed them. I don't know why. I didn't even research why, but I'm just saying that hatred and this undertone racism that exists in this country has no place here. And I'm not one of the ones that are going to be walking around blindly like it's all good and it's all love, because it's not. And the sad thing about it, a lot of these organizations, they are part of the Christian church. They go to the church. Thank you, Dr. J. Dr. J said, welcome back to Mark B's Perspective. And listen, man, I hope don't nobody be offended, but if you are, that's something you got to deal with. Today, I just felt on my heart I wanted to speak about this topic. People fail to realize hate will always stand until Christ ends it. What can we do to end it within ourselves? Life is a test we must master. Most definite, but Stedman, we got to make sure it don't exist in us. And if you got somebody that you respect and they respect you and you know they flying that way, it's your responsibility to kind of coach them to the right way. Don't sit back silent. I'm not just talking to Stedman, I'm talking to anybody. If we have a friend that respects us and vice versa, and we know that they're like that, and we continue to be silent as they display this behavior, then we're part of the problem. That's something that got to be checked. Especially because of the history here in this country. We got a real dark history. So in a kind of a way, I understand, I don't agree with it, but I understand why Trump is trying to attempt to end Black history or have selective Black history. You can't tell the whole truth, because the truth in this country is we got a dark history. And then we just got to live up to it and be all right with that. Those who say they're not like that, they should be displaying that in their behavior. Hatred create hatred, but that just makes it worse. Yeah, because people gonna respond. And that's why a lot of people are saying they understand why Rodney Hinton Jr. killed that deputy, because his son was killed. And he felt like every time a cop killed a Black person, nothing's going to happen. Or we'll look at it, but doesn't nothing happen. I'm going to go back. I'm going to tell y'all, Coley said, why does That's a good question. It said, why does Martin Luther King only get a day and Black History gets a whole month? It's all the same. What are you talking about? Thanks for sharing that, though. See, we staying on topic. Do you have anything about racism or any of your friends racist? Do you tolerate it? That's what we're talking about. When you say white history, that's all we learned. We was forced to learn that in school, white history. They force fed that to us. So then they give us 1 month. White history is 12 months. So but I appreciate your thought though, man. I appreciate you sharing that. It's coolest. I appreciate you sharing that. But we living in some dark times, and it's sad because we got a president of the United States who sympathizes with these known racist organizations. That's another reason why, the country is upset. But let me get back to Rodney Hinton Jr. He's the man who, when his teenage son was killed by police officers, he went and killed a deputy. He crashed his car into him. That's because he feel like every time these cops kill a young Black teenager, nothing happens. And I'm gonna give you all a little history, those who don't know. Police brutality been going on in the United States. And as Black people, we really thought we had them in 1992 with Rodney King. When I tell you they put an old-fashioned whooping on Rodney King, the police is on camera hitting him left and right and left and all that. Hitting him left and right and left and all that. And we said, you know what? We got y'all now because we got y'all on camera. We've been telling y'all police brutality and how they was doing Black African Americans. And guess what? Even with the tape evidence, they was found not guilty. Hey, Kalous, I didn't say it was justified. That's for you to figure out. To that dad, it was justified. To that dad, it was justified. Are you upset and outraged that a lot of Black teenagers get killed by police in the streets? Are you outraged by that, Kalous? Because I'm outraged by that. I'm offended by that. So do you have the same feeling that I have about that when we lose? And I can give you a whole list of African Americans that we lost in this country. So it's for you to figure, was it justified? For that dad feel like that was justified. You still ain't tell me what's your thought on racism in this country, man. Do it exist? Do you support it? Or do you shoot it down when it's around you? Dude said, it's a shame. I would say, you know what, you would stop the cops if every Black get life insurance. I heard that point, and that point made a lot Listen, man, you made a good point. That would, because now these insurance companies will have to pay every time they kill one. But they're gonna come up with something to try to prevent that. Like they do with flood insurance or different insurance. They're gonna try to add something to that. But thanks for sharing that. That's a good point. What's your thoughts on race relations and the hatred in this country? Do you see it? What's your thoughts on it? I brought up the story in Lincoln, Ohio. Lincoln Heights is a part of Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm sorry. It's Cincinnati, Ohio, but it's Lincoln Heights. When the neo-Nazis went there with their masks on, assault rifles, they was also escorted by the police. They was escorted by the police, and they went to a Black neighborhood. Colis, you never told me what's your thoughts on it, man. Are you not outraged with how the cops kill young Black folks? Coolest, you just see, I'm going to get rid of this dude, man. I'll see you tomorrow, man. Because you're not adding no value to this conversation. I don't let nobody heist let me clarify this to y'all, man. This live is different. I don't let nobody come here and heist it. See what I'm saying? Or spam it. If you got something to add to it. Now, the topic I'm talking about is hatred and racism in this country. I'm talking about hatred and racism in this country. Is it real to you? If not, okay. I say it's real to me. So I was speaking about how a white racist group went to Cincinnati, Ohio to show their strength. I don't know why. A whole U-Haul full of these white supremacists with masks on and assault rifles with their flags. Well, the community took offense. Why are they coming to the black community? Why are these racists coming to black spaces? We don't go to their spaces like that. What's going on with this hatred and this racism? Like we supposed to be beneath them. That don't happen on this live. And I don't fear no man. Period. War Story said it's real on all sides. Yeah, it's real on all sides, but most of the time with us, we defending ourselves. Just like it was a difference between the Ku Klux Klan and the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers was a self-defense party because white folks were just coming killing black people. So it's not the same though. But thank you for sharing that, War Stories. In most instances, black people are defending themselves against white racists. Even black towns, man, you can just do the studies. How they just burned down with the assistance of law enforcement in some cases. They would burn down black towns, man. So don't just say all sides. We don't invade their spaces the way that they invade ours. But thanks for sharing that, War Story. I appreciate that. But now we got a president. That's why it's so offensive to the black community that we got a strong sympathizer, a very strong sympathizer of white supremacist organization, Ku Klux Klan, the Proud Boys, and President Trump. We got a President Trump who support these organizations that don't mean none of us no good, especially not black people. So it's not just on all sides. Even I notice online when you do lives and stuff, what do you think the solution could be? My thing is for my people to wake up. War Story said, what do you think the solution is? War Story, do you support racism? Because your solution should be not supporting it, first of all. If one of your buddies is like that, then you should be checking them. That's what the solution is. Y'all got to handle that. We wouldn't have to defend ourselves as nobody coming in our town trying to rape our women, trying to pull out men out of the house. That happened to us. So the solution is for us not to allow that to happen, period. What is your solution, War Stories? Dr. J said, remember to double tap the screen on your way in. If you're just coming, this is Mark B's Perspective. Check out my channel, man. If you're interested, go ahead and subscribe. But it's not for everybody. War Stories, if you don't support it, when you see somebody do it, do you call it out? Even President Trump, do you call him out on his racism? So we're not just stopping at him, even with President Trump. And whether he attacking, because some people cool, as long as he don't mess with white people. He can mess with Latinos. He can challenge blacks with history. He can do this, he can do that, and everybody's cool with that. So we're gonna be real about that. We got to be real about it all the way around, 360 degrees. So if we don't support racism, we cannot support this president that we have here in the White House today, because he's full of it. Thank you, War Story. But what I was saying, this white organizations went to Cincinnati, Ohio, to a black community. That's why I don't understand why they keep coming to black spaces. For what? They'll say dialogue, but that ain't what's in their heart, man. They'll say, well, let's have a dialogue. Listen, don't trust that, man. Why they keep coming to your spaces? I wish it wasn't like that. For real. War stories. I wish it wasn't like that either, but the truth is, it's like that. That's why I want to say this about the deputy that got killed in Cincinnati, Ohio. My prayers go out to him and his family. But on the other side, a lot of people are understanding why the father did what he did, because it's case after case. When the officers kill a black person, nothing happens. And now we got President Trump saying he want to give police immunity. Who they gonna get immunity? Who is that gonna be? It ain't gonna be for killing a white person, because they gonna hold him accountable for that. It's gonna be if he kill a black or another minority. So we can't sit back silent and act like, oh, it ain't no more racism. I got 2 black friends. Nah, that don't mean nothing, man. If you sit back and you allow it in your existence, then you just as bad. Because right now, it's so much tension and people feel like they got to defend themselves. Even when that white group came to Lincoln Heights, man, they ran them jokers out of Lincoln Heights and took their flag. But all I'm saying is, man, and a lot of them in these organizations, they part of the Christian church. I thought we supposed to love people. Lumda said Trump just proved that Deuteronomy 28:48 through 68 is real. Okay, good job. I don't want this to appear like somebody badgering somebody, but if we're going to talk about real issues, that's an elephant in the room. That's a real issue that I think we need to talk about. We won't talk about this every day, but we're talking about it today, man. I love all people. I don't care if you're white, black, or whatever. But don't bring no racism, man. And don't come to me like you superior than me, because I'm not inferior to no man. So I think it's necessary to have these conversations. We just have to be honest. It's okay to have these conversations. And the topic is hatred and racism in the United States. When we had Obama in office, was it better? For some people going to say, yeah, I can only live for right now today. I can't go back. As bad as I might want to, I can't go back. So today has to be better. I know we quick to make comparisons and say, did Obama do a good job? We still in America, man. That's the real reality. But it seemed like under Trump, people are more emboldened. Sadly, oftentimes, folks don't like discussing race. Yeah, that's one of them topics, Dr. J. You're right. That's why I said I wanted to do this today, man. It's not something I'm going to run from. I wanted to do it today, man, and just, talk to the people and see. You just put it out there. So it's just today, man. But that's one of the main reasons, like, I handle my live like I do. I don't allow, gotta face it head on. Yeah, thank you, Dr. J. You do gotta face it head on. I'm gonna read something, and this to my African American people. It's for all people, man. Anybody ever heard of the Willie Lynch syndrome? Sometimes they say we got the Willie Lynch syndrome. Let me read War Story. Said it is, and with all respect to you, it seems like if someone has a different opinion, you're quick to shut them down. It ain't about that. We talking about this particular topic, and that's what we're gonna remain on that topic. I'm gonna say it again. I don't allow nobody to spam my live. I don't allow nobody to hijack my live. I'm gonna get my information out, and that's what I'm here to do. You can put your point across, but to keep doing it, I ain't gonna allow that, right? Because you're not gonna change my thought process. I'm not gonna change yours. I'm presenting something. You got the opportunity to speak your piece, but you will not hijack. Kelly said, black people think rules and laws don't apply to them. That's a lie from the pits of hell. Why you think we populate the prison system? Y'all the one with the privilege, Kelly. Don't come on here with the lies. Come on here, speak something that's truthful. Nobody can agree with that and be telling the truth. You say we don't think laws. Trump is the one that think laws don't apply to him. Trump and his followers. We always understood the law applied to us, man. Just us. Has been a saying. Stedman said there is some hate in most everyone. Some more extremists who's right and who's wrong. I could go spiritual. No one wants to hear the real enemy. Listen, man. Stedman, I feel you on that. We can point to some spiritual existence. We can point to the devil or whatever it may be. But in people's mind, they're going to see who their enemy is. Those who oppress them. They're not going to just say, oh, you're oppressing me. It ain't you, though. I know it's just the devil. People ain't going for that, man. That's what they taught the slaves back then. Your master loved you. Lies from the pits of hell, man. See what I'm saying? But I understand where you're coming from. Said, nope, not better, because that's the same bird, two wings. And Ludum is answering the question about under Obama. Yeah, it was still the same thing. Good point, Luma. Yeah. But it seemed like it get more emboldened under Trump. Why? Because he sympathizes with it. He openly shows support for those organizations. That's why when them Proud Boys, when they bum rushed their Capitol on January 6th, he pardoned 1,600 of these racist neo-Nazis. He ain't never did that for a group of black people. Isn't the point to change people bad? You can't change war stories. I can't change your opinion. I'm not going to sit here in front like I can change yours for real. You think I would like to sit down with like a David Dukes or somebody, or even the devil or anybody like that? No, it would be useless. I would be lying to myself. So there are spaces that want to do that, and that's why I direct anybody who feel like they want to do that, go to those spaces. Because you're flashing. I certainly heard that a good dialogue could change opinion and create solutions. Man, how long have we been dialoguing? Black people been marching, dialoguing, praying for years. Don't give me that, man. That ain't what's going to help us. There come a time for action. Because that's the only thing some people respect. Otherwise, they're going to keep their foot on your neck and keep disrespecting you. See how y'all are so manipulative? You're going to throw Dr. King in it. I'm going to tell you this. Look at Dr. King's last speeches, man. And I think he would disagree with you. Look at Dr. King's last speeches. Kelly said, do you consider yourself a slave? I'm no slave, but there's those who think they're superior to me, right? I don't buy into them lies, but this is real. Not manipulating anything, just talking with you, my man. But you threw in Dr. King like that's going to make me change. Oh, I get him. I throw Dr. King in. Check out Dr. King's last speeches, man. Action and hearing. So what I'm saying is, I'm one of the real ones that will really tell you that race is real here, not asking you to change anything. Right, so what's the purpose of the dialogue? Why would I not saying you, but why would it be important to me to have a dialogue with a racist? That would be defeating the purpose. It would be no purpose for me. You're not going to get understanding. If they haven't understood now, you talking about 400 years, you talking about slavery, you talking about segregation, Jim Crow and all that, and they still don't understand? I don't need to have the facts that took out King after he started talking about the money. Right. He wasn't talking about the kumbaya and all that other stuff. He started changing the way he talked. They was all right with him saying, let him hit you upside the head and just be submissive. They loved that. They don't want you to stand up. You stand up, you're a problem. So, war stories, man, I thank you, man, for your input. But all I'm saying is sometimes we waste our time with some dialogue. People say, let's have dialogue. Man, we done had years of dialogues. Y'all didn't see them bodies that was hanging? Y'all didn't see all that when children was watching that? So what does standing up mean? Listen, that's what I'm talking about with the games. This man said, what does standing, who controls the money? The media. Kelly, good point. Kelly said, who controls the money? The media. They say the Jewish community has a lot to do with that as well. Hey, war stories. The solution for you, let me tell you what the solution for you can be. Make sure nobody's around you as a racist. If you hear somebody even speak it, then you challenge that. Don't sit silently. That's one of the solutions. Luma said, thank you, brother, for keeping it real. We are God's. Psalms 82, 1 through 3. Bow to no man. We can't. War Story said, Mark, it's not games. I'm trying to understand your point. Hey, War Stories. Do you love all people, black, Mexican, and everybody? I haven't disagreed with anything you said. I understand War Stories, but I'm just telling you, man, that racism exists, man. And it's like the black community feel like they haven't been heard. They haven't been heard because racism, anything that happened with somebody black. Antonio say, "Que pasa, Mark?" Antonio, welcome to the live, man. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Listen, man, this is one of them difficult topics, man. We don't talk about this every live, but today I wanted to talk about this, man, because I think it's important. And what I'm talking about is racism and hate in the United States, man. And we can't be walking on eggshells. We got to live in unity in this country, man. But I'm not begging nobody to love me if in your heart you don't love me. I'm not begging somebody to be cool with me. I'm not trying to just hang out with everybody because I know everybody don't have my interests at heart. So that's where I'm at with it. I love all people. I don't care what they are. I love all people. I even love the LGBTQ community. I'm gonna say it again because I ain't stuttering. I even love the LGBTQ community. And I don't even mess with them like that, but I love them. I don't wish no harm on them. I got love for an illegal immigrant. If he over here trying to work and do the right thing, I got love for him too. And I love white people because a lot of white people are standing up, doing the right thing. Try to help us. It is difficult. I'm coming with all respect, not trying to trick you into anything or say, see, I got you. I know War Stories, and I appreciate you, man. I thank you, man. I'm glad to have y'all here. I appreciate y'all. We coming in the name of love. This ain't no spiritual thing. I'm sorry. This ain't no religious thing at all. But I do come in love, and I try to speak in love. I don't hate no man, but I'm not going to allow no man to run over top of me, man. I'm going to do everything within my power and strength to try to help myself and help my family, man. Kelly said, they are after the kids. I don't love them. Oh, you talking about the LGBTQ? Listen, man, I think we put a lot of emphasis on their sexual preferences. It's some gay people I've been around that don't never try to suggest that to me. They got their circle that they mess, whoever do that, that's their circle, man. But don't hate them. And I know a lot of y'all coming biblically, the Bible, Sodom and Gomorrah, hate them and kill them and all. Nah, you love them. Hopefully they'll change if that's what you want for them to do. But love them. It's predators, Kelly, that come after our kids too. Old men. Abstinence said, I don't like the 1%. Okay, that's what's up. Adolf said, one question and would like to know your thoughts. You think racism came from a thought or a law? Woo! That's an easy answer. Everything starts with a thought, right? And now people who are in positions after they got a thought, they put it in law, they become in power. That's why we got to be careful who we allow in power because it can just exist as a thought. Hitler's idea started as a thought until he came into power. Then it becomes law. Now he able to round up Jews and all that. Like we see today, they rounding up immigrants. Almost the same thing. Thank you for that question. Kelly said, yeah. Thank you for that question. But just to piggyback off of what he was saying, hatred and racism does start with a thought, right? And then it becomes a law. Well, man, they had a strong, it said, watch what you think because your thoughts become actions, right? Watch your actions because your actions will eventually become your character. That can happen as an individual, but it can also happen as a group. It was just a thought at one time. Now it's a culture, it's what we do. Pakistan said, hey, Pakistan, welcome to the live. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Hope you are safe over there. I know y'all got some turmoil that just happened. I heard about Pakistan. Y'all got some, if you over there, or you got people over there, I know they got some turmoil that just happened over in Pakistan. But man, thank y'all, man. If you have not done it, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Ranger said racism came with money. It's almost biblical. We became sinners when we saw we were naked. Yeah, that's kind of that's a little bit too deep for this live right here. But you're making a good point, Ranger. I know exactly what you're saying. But you got, hold on. Pakistan said he's good over there, but it is, if y'all don't know, man, there's a little battle going over in Pakistan. So we got to send prayers out to them and the other country. He said his mom's side of the family is okay, but my dad's side of the family might have some trouble. Okay. Dr. J says subscribe to the channel if you have not done it. Man, I thank you, man, for y'all continued support, man. I thank you for y'all understanding. This is one of them difficult lives to have, but I thought it necessary. I thought it necessary to speak about this topic because the elephant in the room. I want all my brothers and sisters to know I don't hate none of y'all. I love everybody. I love everybody, but that don't mean I got to sit at your table. That don't mean I got to sit. I love all people, man. I do believe racism and hate does exist in this country. War Story said, can you say where you from, Mark? What? Why? I'm from the United States. War Stories, why you want to know that? Kelly made a good point. Kelly said you can't love evil. Listen, we got to be able to separate the person from the behavior, right? Lunam said, I just subscribed. Thank you. Antonio said, true. Hey, Kelly, I want to explain to you, you said you can't love evil. It ain't the person that's evil, it's their actions. So they choosing to choose the evil. The evil, the good probably was talking to them too, but they chose the evil. So the evil itself is not the person. And that's even for homosexuals, man. That's even for them. Let's try to love them first and see how that worked out. I'm not saying give in to their lifestyle. That's not what I'm telling you. I'm saying try loving them and see. Because what if you're a pedophile? You're just a rapist. I'm not you, Kelly. I'm just saying people who are rapists. Can they never change? Oh, he's from Massachusetts. Man, listen, man, my home is actually Wilmington outside of Philly. That's my home. So I'm an East Coast guy, hands down. But then I moved to Alabama. I'll be honest, every country have racism. That includes from my people. Yes, even it's little, I still have some. Yeah, I do think that, and it could be far as your race, light and dark. Man, we got so many issues, man. But I'm gonna tell you a trick they pulled on us, Pakistan. They wrote a book by William Lynch, and they call it the Willie Lynch syndrome. I'm gonna read an excerpt from that. Are they evil? Adrian said, "Are they evil?" Ab says, "The more divisions, the better black, white, gay, straight, Muslim, Christians, etc." It said, "The more divisions, the better black, white, gay, straight, Muslim, Christians, etc." Kelly said they become bolden. Yeah, but predators and serial killers become bolden too. So if we're gonna look at right and wrong, we gotta look at the whole big picture, man. Don't just isolate because politically that's a topic right now. Antonio said, "I agree, Pakistan." Bella, "Hey Mark, I've been listening to you for a while now. The thing that impressed me most about your stint in prison is you never claimed being a victim. Great attitude. I'm not a victim, you know." And I got some brothers that I know that be like, "Yeah, Christian prison made me strong." I cut them off. I say, "Listen, don't give credit to the prison. That's just where you was at, where you grew up, where you learned. You got to be careful because people will hear that, a young person will hear that and think it's cool to go to prison when it's not." But thanks for sharing that, Bella. Thank you. Nice. I went to school in Philly. Okay, war story. See, we got more in common than we got differences. Not gonna lie, I want peace not from between me and India, but also from every country that have conflict with each other. Yeah, we do need peace all over the world, man. It saddens my heart when I even hear in the Gaza Strip where they blown up a building with children. They still children. So, but yeah, even in where they at the other one, Ukraine, children dying. They still are children, no matter what. Thank you for sharing that. Picasso, welcome to the live. Listen, I'm gonna read. Be patient with me, y'all. This is a slave master named William Lynch wrote this letter to other slaves because slaves were starting to escape. It was costing money. They might beat them and accidentally kill them. They was losing money. So this is the letter that he wrote. I'm gonna just read an excerpt. He said, "In my bag here, I have a foolproof method for controlling your black slaves. I guarantee you, every one of you that installs correctly, it will control slaves for at least 300 years. Some people say it controls us today mentally. My method is simple. Any member of your family or overseer can use it." And what he was telling them was cause division amongst the black slaves. The light skin versus the dark skin, the males versus the females, the young versus the old, the light skin versus the dark skin. They created all these differences amongst us as black people to divide us. And they said they would be able to control us for thousands of years, man. And that's what's going on today. Pakistan said, "I want peace with India. I wasn't Israel, Palestine, peaceful. Wasn't Hungarian and Romanian peaceful with US, Russia, Ukraine, China, India, North Korea, South Korea, Morocco, Algeria, all that. Can we get peace in the world?" But somebody said it won't be peace to the end of the world. But that's a good goal, man. Appreciate that, Pakistan. And we're going to continue to pray for your family over there. But what they were saying, they in this letter that he sent to other slave masters was, you put young people against old people, young against skinny against fat. You make up as many differences among black people and you will be able to control them and they will continue on for years. And guess what? That's the situation we in today. That's why they call it, if you ever heard somebody say the Willie Lynch syndrome, William Lynch is a book. I got the book, had it for years. It say the making of a slave. And what they do is create differences amongst us. That's why unity is very important amongst us, but amongst the entire world. Like Pakistan was saying, we got to have unity. United we stand, and divided we shall fall. Pakistan said, thank you. Felix said the Mexican helped black people get their freedom when they ran into Mexico. Good job. Felix knows history. Thank you, Felix. Did you celebrate Cinco de Mayo? Felix, did you celebrate a couple of days ago Cinco de Mayo? Because a lot of us, I ain't gonna say us, but in inner cities they have a Cinco de Mayo parade celebration, Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. But thank you for sharing that, Felix. But what I'm saying, there is racism in this country, man. And I know my man had asked, what's the solution? Yeah, we have the United Nations to fix that, but it wasn't working. Okay. Yeah. If you just come in today, this is Mark B's perspective. I talk about different topics. Man, I welcome you to this chat. If you have not done it, make sure you subscribe to this channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I ask first, check out the channel, see if it's for you, because it might not be for you. It ain't for everybody. But I come with love, man. I come with love and appreciation. I love all people. I love all people. But I'm honest with myself. I'm a realist, and I understand that racism and hatred does exist in our country. A good example would be when that black teenager was just shot and killed in Pakistan. Said we need like more unity from that United Nations organization, because all these countries can get along, but it would be difficult. Yeah. Everything's politics. Who's making the more money? Who's charging the most tariffs? So when you're dealing with countries, you got all these other issues. So it ain't just about getting along. Who gonna benefit the most? Bella said, Mark, what do you think of Ibrahim Touré kicking out the French? I'm in total agreement, man. I love that, our people are Africans. It seems like all the world, it seems like it's time for us to rise as a nation. So I'm in support of that, knowing what they went through. We was even taking war stories. I'm gonna get with you in a minute. Let me finish this thought. I support Touré, Ibrahim. I support him from what I know now. From all that I know, I do support him, and I wish him success. But I know they're trying to come at him. But thank you for sharing that. That's a whole story by itself. War Story said, Mark, you see Theo Von's skit on racism? Funniest? He said, that's funny. I got to check that out, man. I got to check that out. Bella said 44 countries got to get together. Yeah, you talking in the continent, in the motherland? Yes. And guess what? That's going to be a hard job, because you're going to have people to infiltrate. And what they use the most to infiltrate is money. Like they paid one of his people $5 million to assassinate him. So thank you, Bella, for sharing that. But he didn't do it. I feel like they rich are playing people against each other, using race, religion, sexuality, and whatever they could fund. That's a good point. That's the same thing they did to the slaves, man. They divide us at all levels. Man. But yeah, you pointed it out. Race, religion, sexuality, all that. It's about divide and conquer. That's one of the strongest tools of the enemy. If we speak about the devil and the enemy and his tricks and all that, yeah. Thank you. Abstin, thank you, man, for that. Because that was nothing but facts. Dr. J said, remember to double tap the screen on your way in to the chat. Thank you, Dr. J. You've been amazing. You are an amazing person, a black queen. We appreciate you. Thank you. Man, today was one of those, it ain't hard for me, but a lot of people does not like to talk about race. I had to pray about it before I even did it, to make sure that my heart was right. Because sometimes when you see stuff going on, especially here in America, it gets you upset. So I had to monitor myself before I even brought this topic out. I wanted to make sure I was in a good space, you know. And y'all have been wonderful, man. Antonio said, when black people come to Mexico, we didn't call them slaves. We called them blacks from Afro Mexico. Good job. Antonio, you still over there? Because if you are, you'll be my plug. Good plug, not bad plug. You'll be my plug when I come over there. Antonio, are you still over there? Abstinence said, even the white supremacists. Yeah, agreement. It said they using them the worst because they would use them to blame for everything. Exactly. I even think that's part of the reason why Trump pardoned them, because he know they're gonna be some loyal soldiers, man. That's why he pardoned those from the January 6th when they bum rushed the Capitol, because he gonna use them whenever. Pakistan said, we can even see problems with the countries themselves, like corruption due to colonialism. I hope these countries get better. There's a lot of stuff. Even with colonialism, man, they'd pay somebody to overthrow the government so they can use that government as a puppet. Man, there's a lot going on in that government. I can only imagine. I'm not on that level. I'm just thinking outside the box. War Story said, laugh out loud. Okay. Let me say, Antonio say, no, I live in the U.S., but I do go back. Anytime you go to Mexico and need a guide, oh, let me read that. Give me a call. Most definite. Antonio, appreciate the connects. Thank you. Bella, talking about racism in Europe is a lot more open and acceptable because it's a far more mature society. Not to say racism has gone though. So let me read that again. Talking about racism in Europe is a lot more open and acceptable because it's a far more mature society. Not to say, good point, Bella. They say that I heard that several, even with the military people, they say it's different. And like you said, not to say it's going, because some people say it's there, but it's not on a level to where we at here in the United States. Pakistan, yeah, I agree with you. Make sure y'all like this video. Make sure you like the video. It's the first time, man. This is Mark B's perspective. I'm talking about racism in America. I'm not badgering nobody. I'm just, talking about the elephant in the room here in America, man. I want y'all to know I love all people, but I'm not going to just sit around people who don't love or care about me. Even though I love you, I'm not going to sit around so you can do harm to me or whatever. Man, I thank y'all for the continued support. Man. Thank you. Met a lot of good people on this live. Met a lot of good people. Like I said, if my channel is for you, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I'm going to do my best to bring the truth as I see it, and then you can share your information. One thing I do on my lives, or I don't allow to happen on my lives, I don't allow anybody to hijack my live, nor do I allow anyone to spam it. Other than that, we can talk about it. Let me see. Pakistan said Pakistan says even some racism comes from the police force. Not all of it, but there is some of it, most definite. And that's the worst, because they're the authority. And then people will feel like they can't do nothing. And now you're thinking extreme. And that's when people start thinking about doing crazy stuff. Even stuff we see with the suicide bombers and stuff like that. So yeah, that can even be worse when it's coming from the authorities. Antonio said, I love this channel, Mark. You are very helpful and knowledgeable. Thank you, Antonio. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate the support, man. Y'all are the best. I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. But, let me catch this one. War Story said, I'll check out some of your videos later. Only seeing you live the past few days. I like what you're talking about because I'm as curious about other people's thoughts and opinions. Okay. Good stuff, War Stories. And War Stories, I love you. I want you to come back. Keep bringing that energy so you can get, bring out information. But I just wanted you to know that when I come on my live, I only got a certain amount of time and I got to get my information out. But I thank you, War Stories. Thank you. So I've asked you a question that's genuinely for knowledge, not a mess up. Not to mess you up. Okay. Got you. I said I appreciate you, man. Pakistan said I'm going to watch some of YouTube videos. I will come back when I get a bit bored. See you later. Thank you, Pakistan. Enjoy your day. We praying for you and your family because we know they over there. Is a little scuffle going on over there, man. Praying for you and your family over there. Robert said, good morning, Mark. Good morning, Robert. Welcome to the live. Thank you for coming through. War Story said, respect. I'll be listening. I appreciate you, man. Listen, man. The only person we can control or change is ourselves. The only person that we can control or change is ourselves. Because guess what? You can't even control your own children because eventually they're going to have their own mind. So remember to focus on yourself. The only one we can control is ourselves. But I wanted to bring this topic up because it's just as real as a heart attack to me. Racism and hatred does exist in the United States. Our challenge is don't, because you feel like you hate it against, try not to let it fester in your heart because it will turn you into a different person. I encourage you to protect yourself, be aware, all that, but don't let hatred get in your heart. Ben said we control ourselves just fine. That's good stuff. That's what we all have to do, man. I was saying for all of us, but thank you, Ben, for sharing that. We all have to control ourselves, man. You can't change the world. You can put out information, guide and direct. You can lead somebody to the water, but you cannot make them drink. Thank you, Ben, for sharing that. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I hope that y'all have found value in the information I brought today. I ask that you what we control, okay. Abstinent gave a diamond. Appreciate that. That's love. He put up a diamond. Listen, I thank y'all, man. I thank y'all. Continue to work on yourselves. Dr. J says supers are available. Memberships are available. Show some love. Okay. Thank you, Dr. J, for sharing that. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Listen, man, I appreciate y'all. I hope that you found value in this live. If you did find value, make sure to like this video. Review my channel. If it's something that you're interested in, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you found value in this live, go ahead and like this video. Don't be a hater. Like the video. Let me see. Channel said racism is far less prevalent than the past, though if you let meaningless words get you all bent up, then sparking unrest is effortless. Yeah, it's. I don't know what measuring stick you're using, but I'm gonna respect what you're saying. Persian Key said China. Okay. Dr. J says to remember to subscribe to the channel. Persian Key said China is love. Much love to China, man. Much love to America. Much love to the entire world. Love to Africa. And the Africans over there making a stand, trying to build a greater nation. Shout out and love to Africa. Shove to India. Ben said Gar. With the Bennett said America. Most definite. Kyler said love to Trump. Love to Trump. Even though I don't agree with him on a lot of stuff. But he said love to Trump. Dr. J said God bless America. Because we all need it. Most definitely. We all need it, man. We want to send prayers and blessings out to illegal immigrants who are here trying to do the right thing. Who's working. I'm not talking about no gang bangers and none of that. Those here trying to do the right thing. Shout out to my black folks, to my Latinos, Chinese, Persians, everybody, to my LGBTQ community. Persian King said, God bless China first. Okay. Bean said, deport them all. Okay. Persian King said, hey, yo, man, I thank y'all, man, for the continued support. Without y'all, the channel would not be possible. I thank y'all. I thank y'all. Make sure you like this video. Be sure to like this video. With the business says, sir, we are a nation of laws. Like it or leave it. We got a president. I'm not going to go off topic because I'm about to close. We got a president that's violating the Constitution, violating laws, not listening to the U.S. Supreme Court. So don't talk that law stuff. Dr. J said, God bless the world. Yes. But the business said facts. Make sure y'all like this video, man. Don't be a hater. I know y'all finding value in this information. I know y'all finding value, especially if you got an open mind. If you come here with an open mind, you will get something out of this live. Just come with an open mind. What they used to say in school, put your thinking caps on. That's what we want to do, man. Persian King said, I like Trump on TV. Trump as president is making the world hate Americans. Yeah, he was real fun and all that. The cool guy and all that. But right now, it's like America has become the laughing stock. With the border says, sir, do you believe in open borders? The quick answer would be no. It's more complicated than that. Nor do I, but I'm not in support of a gang of ICE running around just grabbing up people, snatching them up, sending them to an El Salvadorian prison. I don't support that either. Let me get this. My personal borders are open, baby. But slide in, I'll deport you just right. Persian King, okay. Little Lee said, what do you support? See, this is one of the, I'm about to close, so you're going to get a pass today. You're going to get a pass. Who is that person? Little Leaf. Little Leaf, you're getting a pass today. Channel said, Mark, do you really believe that anyone unlawfully deported won't be reimbursed later? Yeah, but the damage is done. Like if they take you from your family for a month, 6 months, the damage is going to be done. Think about the bills that accumulated. Think about the hardships. So whether they pay them or not, the damage is done. So we had to think about that too. This should never happen. Dr. J said, great content, Mark. Man, I thank y'all, man. I ain't going to hold y'all. I know y'all got other stuff to do. Y'all have been great. Y'all have been amazing. The great Allah has a place for infidels. Persian King, thank you. Some people don't believe into it until it's in their face. My thing is do the right thing just because it's the right thing to do. But we're not right there. We're not there yet as people. We want to do as much as we can get away with, some people. Thank you, Persian King, for sharing that. Anybody got any last thoughts or comments before I close out this live? With the business said, new subscribers, sir. Appreciate you, man. I'll be looking out for you. I do my lives Monday through Friday, man. I appreciate you. And we talk about different topics. Today just was about racism and hate in America. Thanks with the business. Anybody got any last thoughts or comments before I close this live out? Dr. J said, thanks everyone for stopping by. Mark B's perspective. Please come back again. Thank you, Dr. J, for sharing that. Persian King said, God bless, stay up, stay happy, have a good one. War Story said, have a good day, Mark. See you tomorrow. Appreciate it. Y'all do the same, man. God bless. Think before you do something crazy, man. If you're feeling some type of way, deal with that stuff, man. Don't inflict that on anybody else, man. Y'all have a good day. Until next time, y'all be safe. Peace.